Okay, I think the level is done, and let's take a look. I really like Doom Eternal. I finished everything there is on Nightmare, but I still kinda have a few nitpicks about it. I don't have the balls to actually say it outright, cause Doom fans are gonna fucking burn my house if I do. And I thought that, if you can do better, do it, pussy. Oh, and I started coding, and by Jesus Nips, Hugo Martin won't know what hit him. So I had the idea to just make a player character sort of like an Overwatch kind of character, with just one gun and all that, but with somewhat deep mechanics. Like if you would actually need some skill to play the game. Lol. I thought of a Cleric character. They are kind of underappreciated at the moment. So what does a Cleric need? That's right. A big ass mace to slap heretics with, that's what. And a shotgun, of course, cause you know what they say. FPS without a shotgun is like Alabama without cousins. Not very sweet home, if you know what I'm saying. But it's not just a shotgun. It's a lever action, modeled, rigged and animated by yours truly. Look at this beautiful baby. So seducing. Well, okay, it might not actually look that great, but in order to make it look better, I studied a bit of shader engineering from Swedish fanboys. So I made a shader to make the gun get hot as you should. I know, absolutely revolutionary. And that's where we dip into the mechanics. The shotgun can shoot at its regular fire rate, just like it usually is. But if after a shot you press Alt, you can manually crank the lever and cut the cooldown. So really, you can shoot this fast. I put it on Alt button so it would be hard to press space when you're doing it, making the player choose between mobility and some extra firepower, instead of just cutting the movement speed for full auto like Doom Eternal does. Balance! And if you crank the lever when the shot is off cooldown, you enter this kind of sniper mode for one shot. That way you can target weak spots and have longer range fights, but it forces you to pace your button presses differently. It's hard to explain controls, just try it. There are a bunch of abilities. Well, the gun that gets hot generates a heat meter. The hotter it gets, the more pellets it shoots. But you can expand it to shoot fire darts. Fire darts, in return, are gonna set enemies ablaze and deal stackable damage over time. And targets on fire receive double damage from shotgun. You're writing it down, right? That's gonna be on the test. Yes, Timmy, you too, dumb. So when I'll add some thick bosses, that's gonna be a pretty good way to deal some massive sustained damage on them. And when they die while on fire, they drop mana. These purple meter charges. Oof. And that you can expand to use your primary abilities. So far it's Shock Beam that stuns people, Corrupting Rail Blast that deals a fuck ton of damage and curses a target, but requires to kind of charge it, and a Freezing Blast that, well, freezes and doubles the damage from the mace swing. And how do you heal? I thought of a chainsaw from Doom Eternal, but I'm not a huge fan of being locked into that animation all the time. It was cool for a few 100 times at first, but then it kind of fell off for me. So I went with the just kill with a mace approach. No hard locking into an animation required. Fuck that shit. All my homies hate animation locking. Animation locking is cringe and low IQ. Yo, and what's that orange shit? Oh, that's just Supremacy meter with supremacy points. Kill a cursed target and use it for abilities that are absolutely clapping cheeks. So far it's just Fireball and Smite. But I'm thinking of a couple more. That's like 8th iteration of this combat system, and Jesus fucking Christ, bro. Balancing is hard. Now, clapping cheeks is fun. But whose cheeks? Oh, we need some badass AI that's gonna break our hearts? But also, maybe, give us some unforgettable nights. So I started with the basics. Trooper, cause someone needs to be a big dum-dum but also be dangerous in groups. I kinda wanted to go with the retro futuristic design for the enemies, so this is what I've gotten to. Shieldy boy with a shotgun, cause I needed an enemy that would basically ask to get shocked and ignore the shotgun spam. If you shock him, you can make a quick combo of releasing the shoot button, then pressing alt 2 times to get into the sniper mode and press shoot, and you can kill him immediately that way. It's not really that complicated once you try it. You should try it. You should start downloading right now, actually. Chain Gunner, cause Doom Eternal's Chain Gunner sucks. I gave him a destructible cooler on his chain gun, break it, and his fire rate drops. I think it's pretty cool. And Cable. I thought that Doom Knights and Barons and all those are cool, but they don't punish you for letting them get close really. So I gave him this destructible weak spot that deals AoE damage over time until destroyed, just so you couldn't hug him. If you wanna hug him though and pummel him with a mace, just break it. I've done a fair bit of VFX and sound design work, but by Muhammad's child slaves, this is so hard and time consuming that I think I'm still missing more that I've done, bro. I'm kinda proud of my smite though. I also made a bit of parkour system that I have a little idea of how to balance this level of bullshit, but I'm pretty sure everything here is gonna stay. Triple jump, triple wall jump, each of which refreshes the triple jump, directional dashes that give you iframes, and a mace charge. As I said, quite a lot of bullshit here, but the more OP player's movement is, the more OP the enemies I can make. And you just fucking wait. And the platforming? Bro, remember when people were crying about the 5-minute total of platforming in Doom Eternal? Oh, here it's pretty much defragged here. With the tools that you got here, there is no excuse to not make an absolute bullshit level with absolutely crazy platforming. I love that shit, and you should as well. And if you don't... I also made a vaulting system. Interesting how other people do it actually.
Code first to check for that. Next, I wrote a bit of code to check if the ledge was in reach by scanning from the maximum allowed climbing height to the minimum in intervals of 0.05 units. I know this isn't the most efficient, but...
Okay, nerd. Here's how the 5 heads do that, okay? You slap a raycast from a point slightly in front of you, straight down at a length that is slightly shorter than you, and if it has a hit, you move up and forward. It just meant I won't be able to put steep slopes in the game, but, who even needs slopes, am I right? That's the level designer's problem. Fuck him. I tried making a level, but then I realized that it's actually pretty hard, and so I took a level design course on Udemy. Unfortunately though, the best course on that is from a Ubisoft game economy designer. I wish I was joking. Anyways, I finished it and now my levels are just slightly less shitty. Still better than Timbermill and Frozen Guard. So the campaign levels are not that ready yet, but you can try playing what is there. Anyways, I made an arena mode with progressively difficult waves. Anyone willing to try this monstrosity of a prototype can download it in the link below. You can join me on Discord or even burn your money giving it to me on Patreon. Yeah, I now have a full e-begging set. Next is writing names on my tits for money. Any feedback is appreciated. Comment here or maybe even upload a video on your own. Add in a hashtag Thousandfold, that's the name of the game, so I could find it easier, would be cool. Alright, I'm gonna go back to my cave and cook some more content. See you relatively soon.